Hello everyone, Dave here, welcoming you back to the channel. We're going to be watching Krillin from Dragon Ball, Sugimoto from Golden Kamuy, Mercenary Tao from Dragon Ball, and of course Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho beating the shit out of each other. Mainly this is serving as background while we talk about today's topic, and that is Jump Force. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Dave, it's 2022. Why the hell are we talking about Jump Force? First off, because that game has really messed with my mind and messed with my brain and continues to haunt me to this day. And honestly, it was a game that had a lot of promise and had a lot of pieces, and basically it should have been better. And in my opinion, this video, I'm going to be talking about what Jump Force should have been. So let's get started. First off, if there's any background noise, I apologize for that. I don't have a condenser on my microphone. I'm trying to speak in a very nice, relaxing, docile tone, just to make this video a little more enjoyable so that, it's fun for everyone. And also, so there's not any, random ass loud noises or any of that shit. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Anyway, here is what Jump Force should have been. So, before we talk about what Jump Force should have been, I think we need to talk about what it was. It was a cash grab. Plain and simple, that's what it was. It sold off of the names of the characters alone, and I think we all knew it would. I wasn't even really interested in the game until I saw that Yusuke Urameshi was in the lineup, and obviously later on we got Hiei with DLC, and Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, so there's not many games, at least many games over here in the West, where you get to play as those characters. So I thought, oh hell yeah, let's play it. And of course, I'm a sucker for character creation, and after my buddy told me that you would be able to create your own character, I was even more hooked. I thought, okay, this game may not be the best, but it could be something. And I was very disappointed. I played it, I got it day one, played it, hated it, sold it, got it again, because I thought, okay, maybe it'll be better. I heard that there were some updates. Got it again, played it, hated it, sold it, and then bought it for a third time on the Switch because I thought maybe it'll be different. It was the ultimate Stockholm syndrome. It was the ultimate, no, he's changed. He won't continue to hurt me. He's a different person now. It's all good. It's different. But no, it was marginally better. I don't know if it was just the time had passed. I don't know if it was just slightly tweaked on Switch. I don't know if it was just my own, feelings on the game changing, but it was marginally better, but obviously not good enough for me to still own it. Otherwise, that would be the background footage today instead of Smash Brothers. But the game, in my opinion, got a little bit better, but it's not what it could be, and that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. The game, we all know, sucks. It's sold off of the characters and the characters alone. And I feel like if they went with the idea that I kind of have, it would have been a much more well-received game, and it would have been a way more fun game. The only unfortunate thing is my idea requires some effort. And basically, if I were in an elevator with whoever was running Jump Force, with Bandai Namco, or Shonen, or whoever gave the okay to make that Jump Force game, here would be my elevator pitch. I would say take Xenoverse, give it a layer of Jump Force, and mix it with Kingdom Hearts. And I know what you're thinking, Dave, why Kingdom Hearts? And I don't mean Kingdom Hearts gameplay-wise, but here's my pitch, right? They wanted to take some isekai elements and put them into Jump Force, basically meaning that your character in Jump Force was like just a random dude who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. All these characters kept coming into our world. Our world and the shonen world are mashing together and creating all these crazy circumstances. That's fine. That's a novel idea and something that I think they could build on. But what if you were just a guy and you go into a manga shop and then some crazy stuff happens and you're jumping from book to book? Have you guys ever seen it went dark because the controller isn't there. Have you guys ever played the Gumby game on Game Boy Advance? I forget the subtitle, but it was like Gumby and the Blockheads, I think. And every level took place in a different book, and every book had a different theme. Like there'd be a Wild West adventure or like a robot adventure, and you'd go into that book and you'd play that level. I think taking that same format, so I guess combining it with that Gumby game too, and I guess Kingdom Hearts is a better example because you go to different worlds, and those worlds you take on different properties, whether it be in the art style or whether it be in how Sora may look, and just in some form of the gameplay as well. But let's say you're in a manga shop and you hop in and you hop into volume 10 of Naruto, and you help Lee beat up Gaara because Gaara got some crazy power up that he's not supposed to have, a la Xenoverse, and then you help Lee fight Gaara. And then in the next mission you hop over and you do some Dragon Ball stuff, or you do some Bleach stuff, or you do some Yu Yu stuff, or One Piece, or whatever. That hits that whole kind of isekai thing that they were going for, and it kind of brings all these characters together in a really cool way. And unfortunately, all that just requires effort. But they have the formula down. The fighting system, honestly, the fighting system sucks. How many times have you played Jump Force and the CPU just guards? Like, it's not a smart system. They just guard until they find one sliver in your game, whether you break defense for a minute, for a second, or you slip up on a combo, and then they hit you with a finisher that takes away half your health. Like, it's a poorly programmed game. But if the game worked well, if the fighting engine worked well, and that's why I'm saying go with Xenoverse, because I feel like they took a lot of inspiration from Xenoverse in Jump Force, but they didn't take enough because it obviously wasn't good. And I'm a fan of Xenoverse's fighting system. So you take Xenoverse's fighting system, you mix it with the Jump Force kind of, our world mixed with their world aesthetic, and you make it so you can travel between different books, different manga issues, different anime, a la Kingdom Hearts, or a la that one Gumby game. So I think that would have been really cool. And of course that would have relied on effort, and the game sold immensely based on the popularity of its characters alone. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that. But just imagine that, you go in and you're fighting, you're doing, like I mentioned, volume 10 of Naruto. You pick it up, you hop in, you're in there with Lee and Gaara. And then maybe one mission, you pop into, when Yusuke is fighting Hiei for the first time, and he's on the ropes because he, had just started learning how to be a spirit detective, and you pop in, you're like, oh man, I don't know who you are, but I could surely use a hand, blah, blah, blah. And then they fight Hiei, and they beat Hiei, and that would be cool. And then it would give you, it would jump into some of the best moments throughout different anime, throughout different shonen, and, you could do the whole Kingdom Hearts route where you visit the world and then you come back later on. Because I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2, some of those worlds you had to visit 2 or 3 times throughout the course of the overarching story. So you do that, and I think you have a solid game on your hands. So yeah, I wish there was a little bit more I could say. I kind of thought that that would be a decent idea, but there's not really much to go off of except hey, Bandai, just do it, please, because it would be fun. But that's kind of all I had in terms of what Jump Force should have been. And honestly, what in layman's terms, what Jump Force should have been was a good fucking game, because it should have just been a good fighting game, but it wasn't. But I guess this is my idea for what Jump Force could be if it took another crack at a game. And unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to get another Jump Force game. And, well, we might, actually. But it's probably going to be garbage like the last one. Because, again, it just sells off of name recognition alone. So I think that, I think us having a healthy discussion on ideas and different things that we would like to see out of our anime games is good. Because then it gets us talking, and it gets people interested. Because anime games for the most part are not good. They're not great. I was gonna do a list of my favorite anime games, and most of them I kind of was like, yeah, this game's fun, but like for an anime game, it's fun, and that shouldn't be our bar. We shouldn't say, well, for an anime game, it's pretty good, when in reality, it's not. I mean, you get a better fighting game just out of like what we're watching right now, just Smash Brothers. You get a better anime fighter creating anime themed Miis in fighting in Smash Brothers than you do in an actual brawler. Now I know the Demon Slayer fighting game has a good combat system, or so I've heard. I haven't played it yet. It's coming to Switch. I might give it a try. And I know there's some anime-styled games that are pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Captain Tsubasa lately, even though that game kind of annoys me as well. But, I think anime games are at a weird spot. There's a lot of mobile stuff coming out now. And there's a My Hero Battle Royale game that is being made or in beta right now. I don't really know how I feel about that, but I'm a firm believer that not every anime game also needs to be a straight-up fighting game. So if people want to take different liberties with anime properties and try something new, you know what? A Battle Royale, I'm not into Battle Royale, but at least it's something different, and that I can say. So, and I think my quote-unquote idea for this hypothetical Jump Force game would be kind of different as well. I know in J-Stars, it kind of had a similar aesthetic where you would sail around in this boat, but it was very it wasn't there. Like, I feel like if there was a little more to it, I felt like that game could have been what we wanted, and unfortunately we didn't get that. They kind of abandoned that whole thing. They abandoned a lot of those characters too. I remember in J-Stars you could play as like Toriko, and you could play as like Hiei from the get-go and not wait for DLC, but it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, these companies they're trying to get money, and they know that they put a game with a bunch of characters in it and it'll sell. And I'm not calling out anyone else on that either, because I fell hook, line, and sinker for that same formula of like, oh wow, you can play as Yusuke Urameshi, that's sick. Like, unfortunately, that's the unfortunate reality of anime games is since there is a kind of a lack of them in the West, it's gonna make it so that companies don't have to try, because they're like, okay, the little that we do release is gonna be enough. But I guess, we were talking about my hypothetical Jump Force game, but I do, now that it comes to mind, want to touch on the fact that there are a lot of, I said it briefly, but there's a lot of mobile outings for anime. And a lot of crossovers. Like, we saw Naruto and Fortnite. Jujutsu Kaisen got some stuff with PUBG. Freaking Attack on Titan got a crossover with Call of Duty. And I know we look at that and we say, damn, that's just a cash grab if I've ever seen one. Because anime is probably the most popular it's been in a long time, or at least the most popular it's been in the West in a long time. And these are some of the most popular games out right now. But I feel like in a weird way it could be good, because the more people that get exposed to anime, the more people that play anime games, and the more people want good anime games. Because like I mentioned, anime, and especially anime games, for a while was kind of a niche market. You don't see a lot of, you don't see, let's say, Naruto versus Boruto, Shinobi Striker getting nominated at the Game Awards. You know what I'm saying? So I think more people getting exposed to anime games in some form of capacity, or at least anime characters, I think would drive up interest, and that would eventually drive up the need for good games and the desire for people to play good games. So it does, I mean, you see Naruto and Fortnite, you see Megami and, PUBG, and the not only egregious amounts of money that those skins cost, but also the fact that it just seems so out of pocket and so, crossover-y, well, not cross, it is a crossover, but what am I trying to say? So shady and cheesy, you see that at first and you're like, yeah, that kind of is stupid. But I think it could, in the long run, actually be kind of good for anime games. I could be wrong, and they could just keep, draining our wallets off of just nostalgia and off of just the fact that they're popular characters. But I don't think any Attack on Titan fan who already didn't play Call of Duty is going to pick up Call of Duty just so that they can have a skin that resembles Levi. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those things are, for people that either already play those games or people that don't know anything about Attack on Titan but see Levi and they're like, oh, that guy looks cool. Let me check out that show. And then they potentially check out the Attack on Titan games as well. And then that gets more people interested in those games from those properties, and eventually will make for a bigger audience and hopefully make for better games because more people are interested in looking at them. I mean, a common comparison I can say is the Madden games. The Madden games were great. When they had, and also it kind of relates to competition too. So I guess the Madden games isn't a true one-to-one example because there's a lot of people that still play Madden, but there's just no competition anymore because EA owns the exclusive rights. So they're just going to continue to make poor games because they don't have to make anything good. And I guess this, it's kind of similar to the anime situation. Not that any one company, to my knowledge, owns, the exclusive rights to make anime games. But when there's not a whole host of interest, or when they know they can get away on name recognition, they're just going to keep doing that. And I think that's something that hopefully as a community we can, nip in the bud in some capacity. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. So this kind of rolled into two topics. I apologize if it was a little rambly, but you guys know that that's kind of my role. That's kind of how I go by. I have a few topics that I wish to discuss, and I talk about them, and sometimes it comes out good. Most of the time it comes out bad. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try to do more videos where I have gameplay or something in the background to make it at least a little more interesting. And I have a few ideas in the back burner right now, stuff that I hope to get out very soon. So if you would do me the huge favor of comment, subscribing, that would mean the world to me. And if you didn't like it, I'm always down for criticism. I'm always trying to get better. So let me know why you didn't like it, and maybe it's something I can work on in the future. So yeah, if you think my Jump Force idea is good, let me know, because it would be a really cool thing to happen. And if you still play Jump Force, first off, more power to you. God bless you if you still play that game. But if you did or currently do, what was your team? I'd find that very interesting, because not only it shows who you enjoy playing as, but who some of your favorite characters are. Mine, for example, was my created character, because I'm a sucker for that. Yusuke Urameshi, obviously, he's my favorite anime character of all time. And up until Hiei got released, it was I played very well with Naruto. I played pretty good with Naruto. So it was usually those three guys. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. By the looks of it, it looks like Sugimoto won, just given the fact that he has the most lives left, but he's about to die, and he just died. If you guys ever want to see who actually wins these games, I'll set the live counter or the life counter lower. I just set it high because I don't know how long I'm going to talk, and I don't want the match to end while I'm in the middle of speaking. So, but yeah, anyway, that's kind of pointless to mention. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.